Welcome to Sex Ed with DB. I'm your host, Danielle Bezalel. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the podcast. If you love and support the work that we do, join my crew on Patreon to win amazing prizes like our adorable merch, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, private sessions with yours truly, and incredible sex toys. Go to patreon.com/sexedwithdb to join my crew. Get discounts at all of my favorite brands at sexedwithdb.com. And follow us on Instagram at sexedwithdbpodcast and on TikTok at sexedwithdb. If you want to partner with us, email us at sexedwithdb@gmail.com. Hello, dear friends. I hope you are doing well. Happy Friday. I am so excited for this third bonus episode of More Sex Ed. And this one is a really fun one. And I get this question a lot. So I'm really excited to get to talk to you about it. It's a little lighter than some of the other questions that we get sometimes. So if you're wanting to hear an easy breezy bonus episode, this is the one for you. The question that I get a lot is, how do you become a sex educator? What does that really look like for you? What school is involved? What certifications are involved? And before I answer this question, I do want to talk about the fact that I discuss all of this and more in my new workshop that I'm offering called Building a Profitable Online Sexual Health Brand. So if you're listening and you want to become a sex educator, you want to build your own brand, you want to create your own products, you're interested in the sexual health space, wherever that may be, whether that is creating content on the internet, like on TikTok or Instagram, or becoming a doula, or facilitating your own workshops and education groups, I highly recommend you check out our website, sexedwithdb.com, and click on that workshops button at the top so you can get to know more information about how to join my workshop. And so with that, I will say there really isn't one path to becoming a sex educator, right? So if you're passionate about sex ed and think that you want to get involved in the field, there are loads of ways for you to get your foot through the door. I personally knew that I wanted a master's degree to further my formal education. But for me, a master's in education didn't feel exactly like the right program for me. I found the right fit for me at Columbia University in New York City. They had a master's of public health program. And through this program, they offered a certificate in sexuality and reproductive health, which was really perfect in my eyes for the content that I wanted to delve into. And although the program is not perfect, if you're interested in learning more about my, pros and cons of the program, I'm more than happy to share those with you all if you want to DM us or email us to hear the deets. However, through one of my classes, I was trained to create dynamic lesson plans for the classroom for sex ed and learn the foundations of facilitating that sex ed in the classroom for people of all ages, as well as young people, students. And so, teaching sex ed in the classroom for a total of 1.5 years for me, coupled with my 4+ years of hosting Sex Ed with DB, as well as me doing this master's program, makes me personally feel confident in my sex educator, sexual health expert abilities. Although I have so much more to learn, right? There are things that are happening all the time that are new. There's research that comes out all the time, articles, books that are really important for sex educators and people in the field to stay abreast of. So that is super important. But let's talk about some other ways that, some other folks and some of my friends and colleagues become sexual health experts, educators, and learners, right? So you could take a sexual health course. There's something called the ASECT certification for sexuality educators that you could look into. You could be a sex writer. You can get trained to be a volunteer at Planned Parenthood. You can be a sex worker. You can learn from your favorite sex positive YouTubers. You can become a sex therapist. You can get your PhD in clinical sexology. And again, reading books by sexual health experts and articles can really prep you to understand the knowledge and information that you might want to have to teach others. And finally, as I mentioned, some folks get a master's in education and focus in sex education or health education. And there are so many more ways. I have some friends in the space who are sexual health TikTokers who don't have any formal training, but do definitely turn to the experts who have science-backed health information, and they translate that information and they're able to share inclusive, non-judgmental, medically accurate sex education with their audience. And so if you're someone who might be interested in creating this content and really trying to figure out, okay, how do I become a sexual health expert? I would definitely start again by reading those articles, those books, watching those films, watching those YouTube videos, really learning from the experts who are out there, from doctors, researchers, again, sex workers, folks who have been doing this work for a long time. And again, if you are someone who's interested in learning more about how to create a business around this, if you think, I think creating TikTok content, Instagram content, writing articles, freelancing in this space is really fun and fulfilling for me. Again, I'm going to plug my workshop. We ran it last month in September and had 10 wonderful participants join who were interested in building a profitable online sexual health brand. So again, if you're interested in that, check out our website, sexedwithdb.com. Go to that workshops page on the website and go ahead and shoot us an email if you're interested in joining. There's a contact form that you can send on that workshops page. So thank you so much for listening. I hope this was helpful if you're someone who wants to get into the field. And just remember that, if you're just someone who's an advocate, who likes sex education, who believes in it, talk about sex whenever you can on your social media platforms, in your groups that you have, in your social circles, with your family, with your friends. It's never too much sex education talk. Thanks for tuning in. Our creator, host, and executive producer is me, Danielle Bezalel, aka DB. Our co-producer and communications lead is Cathren Cohen. Our co-producer is Brian Peoples. Our social media intern is Sarah Kelly. Our music theme is by Hook Sounds. Thank you so much to our featured guests, partners, and our listeners. Want to advertise with us? Email us at sexedwithdb@gmail.com. For more sex ed content, follow us on IG at sexedwithdbpodcast and on TikTok at sexedwithdb. See you next time.